kind of a meh, kind of average. So it is the Lago M38, the free garage slot for this year, but we won't spend that much time on this vehicle in this video. So what is interesting is there are actually leak info about Hungarian tanks with the Hungarian tech tree. So we'll take a look later on, but let's quickly go through this tier 3 premium Swedish light tank, the free garage slot for this year. So kind of looks like a larger L60 with a bigger turret mounting the 47mm, addition of the bow machine gun and machine guns for the coax and back of the turret. But it's a Swedish light tank that you don't have a crew for unless you play with the L60 for some reason. So this will collect dust in your garage, or you will sell it for the credits and garage slot, whatever. But yeah, kind of looks like the L60. So here is the L60, in addition of the bow machine gun and larger turret with the Bofors 47mm. Okay, I mean, this is also a gift tank. So we have the big brother of that gift tank right here. Wonderful. 62mm of pen, not bad for tier 3, and tier 3s won't see tier 5s anymore after the matchmaking change, so that's a plus. 1500 DPM, accuracy is average for that tier, so not bad, not good. 1.9 seconds of aim time, alright. 10 degrees of gun depression, about 30 degrees traverse per second. It's alright, it's still somewhat of a medium compared to other light tanks, so I will classify it as a medium. But health is boosted because of the health boost for the lower tiers. 34mm at the front, not much armor, no. 24 at the sides, not much. It's a low tier vehicles. It's not fast, only 45 km/h top speed, about 16.7 horsepower per ton ratio. Hull traverse is not bad, but 42 is alright. It's not like 50 plus. So this is more or less like a medium tank than a light tank, even though some of the lower tier light tanks are practically heavy tanks in terms of armor, like the Japanese or some of the French in a sense. But yeah. And 330 meters of view range, garbage radio, yada yada. It's a free garage slot, dust collector, whatever. So that's enough about this vehicle, I guess. Crew of 4 for the Swedish lights. So you don't have high tier Swedish light tanks for a crew trainer, so this is practically useless, but whatever. 120 rounds, AP shell, AP also for the gold. Gold shell doesn't have as much more pen compared to the normal shell, so only 16mm more. Not worth the 12 times more credits, or 10 times more credits. Actually, what the hell? No, it's not. I'm looking at the wrong number. That's, yeah, no, don't use gold shell. It costs 21 credit for the normal shell. It costs 1,200 for one round of the gold. Just don't load gold shell. It's useless. Oh my god. Alright, enough about this vehicle, but 47mm, that should be Bofors. I don't know. Should be? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so enough about that. That's the dust collector for this year. Now here is the Hungarian vehicles. So I do not know if they're legitimate. It comes from a very small post. So this JPEG is like 400 by 400 pixels. So it's pretty small, but it is posted on the Russian leak webpage. So might be fabricated, might be authentic. Who the hell knows? But it is an actual vehicle, well, prototype of a vehicle, the 44M TAS. So here is the tank encyclopedia page. You can take a look, but it is a Hungarian heavy tank that they try to model after the Tiger or the Panther, but Germany does not want to give up the blueprints to the Panther or the Tiger, so Hungarians had to do this by memory or visual basis, I guess. But you can take a quick look. I'll put the link into the description so you can take a look and read through. But it is only a 80mm, not an 88. Yeah, it's 80mm 𝘏𝘴. Yeah, Swedish Bofors 88, not 80, 80 anti-aircraft gun, yada yada yada. So you can take a look, but let's take a look at the stats. So tier 7, Hungarian medium tank, kind of looks like a Panther in a sense, a little bit. 145mm of pin for AP shell, 194 for high explosive anti-tank, and 80 for high explosive. 180 alpha, so kind of a 75mm? Huh. Well, they don't tell you, but accuracy 0.36, 2.3 seconds at aim time, 80 rounds, gun depression 10 degrees, reloads every 5.4 seconds. Kind of slow for a 75. So DPM is about 1800, a little bit better. It's not rapid firing as you would want, but penetration is also not as good. I mean, you have about the same penetration for a tier 5 or tier 6. Sometimes tier 5 have that kind of penetration, so 145 isn't the greatest. Do carry a lot of shells and do have 10 degrees of gun depression. Turret traverse speed is alright, it's not that great. Top speed of 47 km/h, reverse of 20, 700 horsepower engine. 19.2 horsepower per ton ratio is not bad for a Panther tank-esque, and 44 degrees per second traverse. So this thing could go ramming like all Panthers, but and the horsepower per ton ratio is actually a little bit better than the Panther, I imagine. So let's go check that out. German mediums. Yeah, 19 is better than the 16.9. Especially without the turbocharger. So once you put the turbocharger, it'll go a lot faster. So you can actually ram with this vehicle. The hull armor is practically the same. Health is practically the same for medium tanks at tier 7. View range, not bad. 380 for tiers. Well, allied tanks like the Shermans have 380 at tier 5. Or 360 at tier 5, 380 at tier 6. So 380 is alright, but I wonder how much view range the actual Panther has for the top turret, the 𝘏𝘴 turret. 380, alright, so average. Okay. But only a 100mm at the front. You do have a mantlet, might bounce some shells, but it only has 145mm of pin, though. The 44M TAS. It is an 80mm Bofors anti-aircraft gun that they switched to shooting at tanks with, but well, it should be the 80mm. Well, this is probably for the tier 8 version, not for the tier 7 version. The tier 7 might use a 75mm. Yep, it might. Well, that's the armor, that's not the gun. Yeah, it might be using a 75 for this vehicle. How much would I rate this thing if it's actual legitimate? 145mm of pen is not going to cut it at tier 7. It is kind of bad. I mean, especially compared to 198 with the L100. Oh yeah, it gets the Pinocchio gun from the Panther 2. Yeah, they buffed it with the Panther. But it is like the stock gun on the Panther. Oh, ew, don't use the 105 derp gun. Oh, gross. Yeah, they buffed the Panther with the Pinocchio gun from the Panther 2. But yeah, 145mm of pin is not really going to cut it at tier 7. The tier 6 have a little bit better pin with the Baby Panther or the Proto Panther, the VK3002M. Has better penetration. Huh. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that much effective, but it is faster to rev up. So 19.2 horsepower per ton ratio base without the turbocharger is pretty good, but everything else just average. So it's not a premium, it's just a normal tank, I guess. Alright, let's move on to the upgraded version, the 44M Tas Korbuly, but it should have the 80mm Bofors gun from the Swedes, but 200mm of pin for a tier 8 medium tank. average still, but this thing has an autoloader. So clip capacity is 2 rounds. So 2 rounds of the 80, each dealing 240 alpha. Reloads every 4 seconds. That is quick. For autoloader with 2 rounds, that is pretty quick. Intra-shell reload time is 2.5, so wait 2.5 seconds between each shot. But you're doing 480 alpha in the span of 2.5 seconds. Reload lock time, 5 seconds. Oh yeah, it does need to have a block time because every 4 seconds you have a reload clip. That is insane. Dealing practically 6.5 seconds for 2 rounds. That deals 480 alpha. That is kind of broken for a medium tank at tier 8. So imagine a 6.5 second reload of a Russian 122 in a sense. Or a Ferdinand's gun. That's a little bit closer. The Ferdinand 127 or 128. But that's the 490 alpha. So for 480 alpha, you have to only wait 6.5 seconds. That is broken. So it has a block time of 5 seconds. So you have to wait after you finish your clip 5 seconds before you start to reload. So that obviously cuts down the DPM. Otherwise, this thing is practically broken. 4 seconds of reload. That is insane. But yeah. Alright. Accuracy 0.34. Not bad. 2.2 seconds of aim time. Also not bad. Turret traverse speed 36. A little bit slower, but could be better. It could be worse. 10 degrees of gun depression, 25 elevation, 80 rounds. That's good. Crew of 5. As expected from a Panther-esque of a design. But top speed of only 50. Reverse of 20. Horsepower per turn ratio is 22.4. Holy crap, this thing is pretty quick to rev up. It's not fast, but put a turbocharger, you could go up to like 55. That's still good to ram. And 120mm at the front of the hull. 120 for the front of the turret. So like a Panther-ish. And 390 meters of view range. This gun is interesting. It's a 2-round clip, but there's a block time with it. So might as well just make the reload time 9 seconds. Would that be a little bit better? No. If you make the reload time 9 seconds, then what that means is it takes 9 seconds plus 2.5 seconds, which is 11.5, to do the same alpha as a Ferdinand's gun. So imagine a medium tank like the Panther with a Ferdinand's alpha for every 11.5 seconds. That is still pretty good, but the penetration kind of sucks. So, I mean, is it as bad as a Boresque? That's the question. Oh, boy. Whoa. I mean, it's not that big of a burst, but still, it reloads pretty quickly. The only downside is penetration kind of sucks. And Gold Shell is high explosive anti-tank with 245. So I will give the tier 7 like a 4.5 out of 10. It's average. I mean, might be 5 out of 10 because it's horsepower per ton ratio. But the tier 8 compared to the tier 7 is dramatically more interesting because of the weird double shot autoloader. And the horsepower per ton ratio is also no slouch. So the only downside is the penetration kind of blows. Accuracy could be better, but 0.34 is alright. And this is not a 100% crew, so it's 0.33 or something. But yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. And I will rate it like 6.25 or something. I mean, if it spams all gold shell, then yeah, the alpha burst from like 11.5 seconds of the shells is still pretty good. Why does it take only 4 seconds to load the autoloader? That is insane. Why not just add the reload lock time into the reload time and just have 9 seconds of reload? I don't know, but okay. So this might not be legitimate, as I said before. the original JPEG leak or post from the Russian leak info page is only about 500 by 500 pixels, so it's a small picture right here. That's the original leak info picture right here. So I zoomed in and enhanced it, but alright. I mean, these two vehicles are actually somewhat prototypes, as you saw, so okay. But they're medium tanks, they're not heavy tanks. And technically, these are not the first Hungarian tanks in the game. So we do have a Hungarian tank in the game. It is classified under German. So where is this piece of crap? There it is, this piece of crap. This is actually a Hungarian tank, but it's classified as German. And what sucks about this vehicle is the lack of shells. Well, it's not as bad as the Panzer IIIK. This thing has... Well, actually, they buffed it? Actually, they buffed it. Surprisingly. Well, this thing still has lack of shells. 39 rounds of the 75mm is not going to do squat. No. Well, there you go, folks. I don't know if it's legitimate. It kind of looks okay-ish, I guess. But none of the forums are posting the two stats pages from the Supertest. So take it with a grain of salt. But I think the Tier 8, the Korbuly version of the 44M is more interesting than the Tier 7, of course. But yeah, this thing is kind of broken if you spam all gold shell because of the alpha burst. But it's like 11.5 seconds of Ferdinand's gun on a medium tank. I mean, could this thing mount a rammer? I don't think so, but if you mount something like vertical stabilizer and or possibly like gunner sights or something, that helps with the accuracy. Huh. Yeah, this thing is like a 6.5 or something. It's very interesting. Other stuff, I mean, why can't we have the gun speciality with the actual Panther II? The only thing about the Panther II that's interesting is the penetration. I mean, 223 is not bad for a Tier 8 medium tank, but armor's still crap. It's still 100 at the front of the hull. But yeah, if this thing has an autoloader with a 2-round thingy compared to the 44M, the Korbuly, yeah, this thing will be a lot better. But also, it has only 14 horsepower per ton ratio, even with the freaking turbocharger. What? That is nuts. This thing is slow. It has 22 without 22.4 without the turbocharger. That, yeah, this thing is like a 6.5. I mean, if it has like 220mm of pin, that would be like a 7. Alright, folks, take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, this video was not about the Hungarian tanks, so questionable leaks. It's about this vehicle, which, yeah, collects dust. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.